Hey Patrouski, I'm a new player and I'm trying to catch Pokemon for profit, and just 31 IV Pokemon just aren't selling for squat. What do I do? This is a common question, a common predicament that I see a lot of times. You see, I've always recommended in the past that new players go catch good IV Pokemon for profit at early points in the game. It's a really easy way for beginners, really intuitive way for beginner Pokemon players to make profit in PokeMMO. However, right now, it's really bad. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. That's just kind of how it goes. It depends on how many people are catching Pokemon for profit and how many people are breeding for profit. These are the two things that go hand in hand. Catching Pokemon for profit brings good IV Pokemon to the game. Breeding for Pokemon for profit brings those good IV Pokemon out of the game, but also creates higher IV Pokemon. So when the market is like this, when 1x31 attacks are 2k, 4k, switch to breeding. And I know breeding can be intimidating. It's harder for the new player to learn, but there are some simple, easy Pokemon to breed for profit that even beginners can do. And we're going to cover some of those today. The first one I want to talk about is Squirtle. This is going to be kind of a complicated one, but I'll actually explain to you and show you why here in a quick sec. So Water Spout Squirtle. This is a chain egg move, and I'll teach you how to do this in a second. Water Spout Squirtle. The cheapest Water Spout Squirtle on the GTL. No stats needed. None. Absolutely nada. 65k listed for less than an hour. 70k listed for less than 24 hours. 85k. These things are super expensive because people don't want to do the chain egg breed because it's annoying. Now let's explain what's a chain egg breed. So you have to actually go grab yourself two different Pokemon, a Wailmer and a Remoraid. Now, you want to grab yourself a cheap Wailmer with Water Spout. I can actually find them for 8k right now. You could buy, you need it to be male. Specifically, make sure you get yourself a male Wailmer. Now, you could actually go ahead and get, if Wailmer with Water Spout are too expensive, you could buy one without Water Spout that's just male, and then go ahead and get that for 2k. However, teaching it Water Spout usually requires some amount of heart scales, and heart scales are kind of expensive right now, so it kind of depends on the market. Sometimes getting a cheaper Wailmer and teaching it Water Spout is going to be cheaper. Sometimes just buying them out, like I'm going to buy them outright for 8k. That's cheaper for me today. And then you want to go ahead and get yourself any female Remoraid. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. All you need is a male. Step 1, get a male Wailmer with Water Spout. Step 2, get yourself a female Remoraid. Anything will do. You don't need any sort of specific stats. We're going to go ahead and go breed both of these together. Follow along with me. We're going to breed both of these together, and we are going to make sure we're going to breed, and we are going to pay to make it male. You need the Remoraid to come out male. But as you could see in the breeding preview screen, it does come out with Water Spout, which is super important. So what we're essentially doing here is we're taking a Pokemon in the Water B egg group and breeding it with a Pokemon that's in the Water B and Water A, and we're getting Water Spout on a Pokemon in the Water A egg group because Squirtle is in Water A. You don't really need to know all that, but it's kind of the explanation. So there we go. We're gonna have ourselves a Remoraid with Water Spout. We're gonna do 2 of these super quick, just a super cheap, super cheap, easy peasy breed. Make sure we pay 5k for male. Now, what's our cost been so far? Has anybody kept track? Because I haven't kept track. So let's go ahead and grab our Windows calculator. It'll be in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, and let's calculate what our cost has been to breed these so far, because it does cost money to make money. So we can check our trade log. It cost us around 3k for each Remoraid. That's 6k right there, plus 8k per each Wailmer, so that's plus 16k, and then plus 10k to choose the genders on both of them. So far we have spent around 32k. Keep in mind, we're going to sell each Squirtle for 65k, so we're going to make a healthy 130k revenue, but we have to see what our actual profit is. So 32k is the total spent so far. Now, while these are hatching, we can go ahead and go buy the cheapest female Squirtles possible. And people in my chat and my streams have kept telling me, hey man, female Squirtles are super expensive. You should go catch them for profit. And they're not wrong. That's probably a really good thing to do for profit. However, this is why female Squirtles are so expensive, right? The reason why is because people are buying them to make money with this. So if something seems profitable, always pursue why something is getting expensive and pursue why it's, why it's profitable, right? Because turns out usually there's a reason, and usually the people behind it's like there's a step 1 and then a step 2 to every little market, and then people on step 2 or step 3 are usually making more money than those who are on step 1. People who are catching Squirtles for profit are probably doing great, but people who are buying those female Squirtles to use them to make even more profit probably doing better. So those Squirtles were not cheap. Those did cost me 17k a piece, let's say. So let's do plus 34k onto our price check, but that's after that, that's it. So 66k is our total cost, and we're gonna sell both of these Squirtles pretty darn quickly for 65k a piece. Now, people may be asking, hey, why are people even buying water spout Squirtles? It's because they are one of the best gym rerun Pokemon in the entire game, and people who either don't understand breeding, don't want to learn breeding, or just don't want to take the time to do this. It's kind of complicated. You can make a mistake, you can mess up. It's really easy. The mental headache, right? They're willing to pay the Pokeyen to push past that to get a gym rerun team, because with gym rerun teams, you can make 200 to 300 to even 400,000 Pokeyen per hour, right? So people who are shooting for that level of Pokeyen per hour, you know, they don't mind paying the 130k now to make constant Pokeyen all the time, right? But we can also take advantage of this, and we can make insane Pokeyen per hour. Now, I don't know how crazy this could be. This is one of those money-making methods where if you flood this market too aggressively, it could get a lot worse, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna wait for these Remoraid's to hatch, and we're gonna breed them with our Squirtle here in a split sec. All right, there's our Remoraid's hatched. Let's go ahead and go talk to the daycare man and just go through with these breeds. Now, the cool part here is now these Squirtles are going to have access to Water Spout, and that's an egg move, and we don't have to pay for anything else. You're paying the 200 Pokeyen for the, you know, for the Pokeball, but that's about it. These breeds are super cheap from this point onward. So let's go ahead and get those hatching. And after these have hatched, we'll go ahead and consistently sell them once again for 65k a piece. I could keep going and see how much profit I could make in an hour, but honestly, this was, you know, this is going to end up being, let's say after the listing fee, let's say we make 130k minus, let's say 70k is our total cost for all of this. We're still making 60k profit, right? And that took me a total of, to hatch the eggs is honestly the main time is just hatching the eggs, and that took me like this whole thing took me a total of probably like 5 to 15 minutes, but the egg hatch is kind of what slows things down. So if you're able to do this, let's say it's 10 minutes, if you can do this 6 times an hour, that's over 300,000 Pokeyen per hour really consistently. However, do keep in mind, this is absolutely one of those methods that it depends on how many other people are doing this and how open the market is. Whenever I make a video covering a money-making method like this, everybody loves to comment, oh, this guy ruined my favorite money-making method, or oh, this money-making method is ruined now and it'll never be good again. And that's not how it works almost ever. What might happen is, you know what, people might see this method, see how interesting it is, gain the information, but oh, this method's cool, I'll go do that, and then maybe this money making method makes less and less profitable. Maybe you start making 200k Pokeyen per hour or something like that for a while, but what then happens is that another Pokemon becomes better to breed for profit. Let's say while it's 200k per hour now to go breed water spout Squirtles, well, now Gibble breeding is 300k per hour, so everybody goes and does Gibble breeding. And while everybody's doing Gibble breeding, well, now no one's Squirtle breeding anymore. So now that market starts to rise again. So it's this sort of rubber band effect of check the market and see, is this money-making method impactful right now? What's good right now? If not, check back in 3 months. I always tell people, check out, after I make a money-making method guide, go check in 3 to 6 months to see if this money-making method is good again, because usually it is. Usually when I make guides like this, those methods rebound pretty aggressively. It's just when I make a video, I do have a little bit of sway over the community. I think it's important to acknowledge. I'm sure a lot more players will go ahead and go do this method, and then after a few months, it'll rebound. So just, this is a great beginner breeding method to make profit, and it's super important to know these sort of simple breeding for profit methods in a breeder's market. But just understand to double check the market. Just go check, you know, has move, water spout, use this fantastic new search function that we have access to. Check your Squirtles, you know, check the price of things, double check the market before you engage in this sort of activity. And another thing is, like, if this becomes super profitable, then more people need to go farm female Squirtles, and female Squirtle farming becomes more profitable. So I really do recommend check the price of female Squirtles as you're watching this video, and check the price of water spout Squirtles and see which is better to do. It's possible that going to go catch female Squirtles becomes more profitable per hour if enough people start breeding water spout Squirtles, and that's a fantastic thing, because then you have a catching market. Once again, it's this beautiful balance. Like, the Pokemon market is very well designed, it's very well balanced, and there's this constant rubber banding as long as there is any demand for any amount of Pokemon. And if there's more Pokeyen to be made with those Pokemon, things like catching Brelooms, things like water spout Squirtles, if you can use those to make more Pokeyen, there's always going to be some value to them and some reason why they hold their value. People love to spend their money, but people love to spend their money even more if they can spend their money to make even more money. Now, once again, these have no real stats. These have no natures. We're going to go ahead and list these for 65K, and they should sell decently quickly. We're going to do 64,998. PokeMMO Market's pretty consistent on there. It did take a little more than I expected for the listing fee. To be fair, a little 3K, but still should be a pretty easy 55K, 60K profit on those breeds. And most of the time was just spent AFKing waiting for the eggs to hatch. Definitely go check this method out. Go try it out. See if it works for you. Check the market at the time. And I hope this was helpful, educational, informative, or some good entertaining background content. If you like seeing stuff like this, make sure to like this video, dislike if not, and subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day, as well as stream Monday through Thursday on Twitch at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below for updates on that. If you want to go above and beyond and support this kind of content, allow me to do stuff like this. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo are super appreciated and allow me to make content. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I will see you later. Peace, Reno. Hey, thanks so much for watching the entire video all the way to the end. I really appreciate that, and I hope it was a positive asset to your day. And I also want to quickly say extra thank you to everybody whose name is on this list and goes above and beyond and allows me to do what I do. Thank you very much. Have a good one.